Have you ever wondered how our daily habits shape our lives? Habits, those seemingly insignificant actions we repeat day after day, have an extraordinary power to shape our lives. They are the invisible architects of our everyday existence, constructing the reality we live in, brick by brick. Think about it. When you wake up in the morning, what's the first thing you do? Do you reach for your phone, check your emails? Or perhaps brew a cup of coffee? These are habits, actions so ingrained in our daily routines we perform them almost unconsciously. But here's the catch. Not all habits are created equal. Some can propel us towards success, while others can lead us away from our goals. The habit of exercising daily, for example, can lead to improved physical health and mental well-being. On the other hand, the habit of mindlessly scrolling through social media can waste precious time and energy. The author of the book, Atomic Habits, James Clear, recounts that when he was in high school, he and his friends were playing baseball, and he accidentally got hit in the face with a baseball bat, causing significant injuries. The impact affected various aspects of his life, and he had to undergo surgery and a lengthy recovery process. Despite the challenges, he eventually transformed his life through small habits and routines. Clear shares a personal story from his school days where a severe baseball accident led to physical injuries and a transformative journey. He emphasizes the impact of habits on one's life, drawing from his own experiences. If you're interested in learning about building good habits or breaking bad ones, Clear suggests exploring the 4 laws outlined in his book, Atomic Habits. Before delving into these laws, it's essential to understand the process of habit formation, which involves 4 steps: cue, craving, response, and reward. Clear illustrates this process using an example. Cue triggers our brain to take action. It can be the laziness in the morning or the craving for morning tea. Craving provides the motivational force for doing the task or building a habit, like the energy boost and the aroma of tea after tea. Response involves the habits and actions we perform. Reward is the goal of every habit, like feeling awake, energized, and satisfied after having tea. The first 2 steps, cue and craving, are problem-based, while the last 2 steps, response and reward, are solution-based. To illustrate the power of habits, Clear shares a personal account of how he turned his life around during university. By incorporating small habits into his routine, such as maintaining a clean and organized living space, establishing a consistent sleep schedule, and prioritizing study habits, he experienced positive changes over successive semesters. These habits culminated in significant achievements, including academic awards and recognition as the top male athlete in his university. The book outlines fundamental laws of behavior change, each one crucial in the formation and maintenance of atomic habits. First, we have the law of make it obvious. This law emphasizes the need to make the cues of your habits prominent in your environment. It's about making the habits you want to adopt as visible as possible, so they're always at the forefront of your mind. Clear discusses a study where participants who made their exercise routine more visible were more likely to follow through with their fitness goals. By combining the new habit with an existing one, individuals can increase the likelihood of success. Clear's insights are based on research and personal experiences, emphasizing the profound impact that small habits can have on one's life. He encourages readers to explore the 4 laws and take steps toward building a foundation of positive habits. Do you know that if we continuously make small incremental changes can result in massive results? Most people think that to achieve something significant, we need to take big steps every day. But if we look at it from a bigger picture, it would be incorrect, as per James. The compounding effects apply not only to financial investments but also to our daily lives. Compounding works in both cases. Whether you are following good habits for a long time or trying to quit a bad habit, if you want to make self-improvements and build effective habits, James suggests that if you make just a 1% improvement every day, by the end of the year, you will be 37 times better and have grown. Therefore, you need to focus on small steps and consistency in order to achieve positive results, as these small improvements compound into self-improvement with compound interest. Now, if we look at the impact of our habits daily, it might not seem significant. However, with a broader vision, these habits show their impact over weeks, months, or even years, resulting in much larger and visible results. Sometimes even beyond our expectations. Next, we have the law of making it attractive. The more appealing the habit, the more likely you are to stick with it. This could mean pairing a habit you want to form with an activity you enjoy, creating a positive association in your mind. The fastest chess player to become a grandmaster at the age of 15 and later the world champion was a girl. Initially, people said, okay, she's talented, but girls can't win for long. However, in 15 years, this girl defeated the world champion Kasparov himself. Anyway, the point is, how did she become so good at chess? The story begins with the father of Judith, let's say, who was looking for a woman to marry so that they could experiment with their children together. A teacher named Clara agreed. They got married, had their first daughter named Susan, and decided to prove that talent is not a puzzle but can be improved by changing the environment and working hard. So, they chose chess to make their daughter a chess player. They kept chess books in their house, surrounded themselves with stories of chess grandmasters, and started narrating chess players' stories to their family. As the daughter got more and more intrigued by chess, she started playing it all the time. One day, when her father asked her to stop playing and go to sleep, she replied, "Daddy, these chess pieces won't let me sleep." He did the same with his other two daughters, and all three daughters achieved success in chess. Judith's youngest sister, who wasn't considered as good as her sisters, worked so hard that she became a grandmaster at the age of 15, even younger than Polgar. So, the learning from this story is that whenever we want to form a habit, we need to change our environment. Read or listen to biographies related to the thing in which you want to excel, keep stimuli in your room that remind you of your goals, and if possible, make friends with similar interests. Thirdly, there's the law of making it easy. The simpler a habit is to do, the less resistance you'll face in doing it. This could mean breaking down a big task into smaller, more manageable parts, making it less daunting and more achievable. If you want to form a habit, make taking action on that habit easy for you, and if you want to break a habit, make taking action on that habit difficult. For example, Victor Hugo had promised his publisher that he would complete the book in a year, but he wasted more than half of his time on other projects, parties, and so on. When he realized that he had very little time left to write the book, he called his helper and asked him to pack all his clothes in a box, lock it, and put it in another room with the key. He said, "You take the key." By doing this, Victor Hugo confined himself to his study room and focused on writing the book. Removing all other stimuli helped him complete the book 2 weeks before the publishing date, and the book became very famous. The name of the book was The Hunchback of Notre Dame, and later, a famous movie was also made on it. Lastly, we have the law of making it satisfying. This law emphasizes the importance of immediate gratification in habit formation. If a habit is satisfying, you're more likely to repeat it. This could mean rewarding yourself when you complete a habit, reinforcing the positive behavior. Author James Clear says that the most significant problem in forming any new habit is that the reward we get from that habit is far away. For example, if we eat healthy today, our weight won't decrease today but might in the next 5 months. But in 1 or 2 months, we'll see improvements in our thought process. Therefore, we need to reward ourselves quickly. For example, a couple wanted to break the habit of wasting money. They knew they had to reward themselves immediately for stopping this habit. So, they opened a separate savings account and told each other that whenever they felt like buying something useless, and if they could stop themselves, they would transfer that money into this account. Now, if the wife resisted the urge to drink coffee, she would transfer the coffee money, let's say a 200 rupees, into that account. Similarly, the husband did the same. So, in essence, atomic habits are about making small changes and sticking to them, using these 4 laws as a guide. They're about starting small, making it obvious, attractive, easy and satisfying. And over time, these small changes add up to significant results. Now that we understand what atomic habits are, let's explore how they work. How do atomic habits shape our lives? A question that is incredibly pertinent to our everyday existence. To answer this, we must delve into the fascinating world of the science behind atomic habits. At the heart of atomic habits lies the principle of repetition. It's not about making enormous changes all at once, but rather about making tiny, consistent changes over time. Imagine dropping a single grain of sand onto a table. One grain doesn't make much of a difference, but if you keep adding grain after grain, eventually you end up with a noticeable pile. Similarly, when we repeat an action, however small, it begins to carve a groove in our brain's neural pathways. This groove deepens with each repetition, making the action easier and more automatic. In essence, we are sculpting our brains, shaping our very identities through the habits we cultivate. This is where the power of atomic habits truly lies. They are the building blocks of our identities. Every time we perform a habit, we are casting a vote for the person we want to become. Are you casting votes for a healthier, more productive, more compassionate version of yourself? Or are you reinforcing habits that lead you away from your ideal self? Interestingly, the book Atomic Habits posits that we should focus more on systems rather than goals. Why? Because while goals are about the results we want to achieve, systems are about the processes that lead to those results. It's not about running a marathon. It's about becoming a runner. It's not about writing a book, it's about becoming a writer. By focusing on the system, the process, the habit itself, we can make lasting changes that compound over time. The science of atomic habits reveals the profound impact of small, consistent actions on our lives. It's a testament to the power of incremental change and the importance of focusing on the journey, not just the destination. Understanding the science behind atomic habits is the first step towards harnessing their power. It's a reminder that every action, no matter how small, is a step towards becoming the person you aspire to be. So what atomic habit will you start today? Opening How can we implement atomic habits in our everyday lives? Let's dive into the practical side of things. Implementing atomic habits begins with understanding the significance of small changes. As James Clear points out in his book Atomic Habits, the most profound changes often start with the smallest of actions. Think of it as a snowflake beginning a snowball. It may seem insignificant at first, but as it rolls down the hill, it accumulates more snow and momentum, growing larger and faster. Next, focus on the process, not the outcome. It's easy to get caught up in the end goal, but the real magic happens in the journey. Just as a sculptor doesn't create a masterpiece with one stroke, we can't expect to achieve our desired results overnight. It's the repeated action, the persistence, the consistency that shapes our habits, and ultimately, our lives. Consider this example from the book. Imagine you're flying from Los Angeles to New York. If the pilot adjusts the heading just 3.5 degrees south, you'd end up in Washington, D.C., not New York. That's a small change in direction, but over a long journey, it makes a huge difference. The same is true for our habits. Now let's talk about setting up an environment that encourages good habits. This is a crucial component that is often overlooked. Our surroundings have a profound impact on our behavior. If we design our environment to make good habits more convenient, we're more likely to stick to them. For instance, if you want to read more, keep a book on your bedside table. If you want to eat healthier, keep fruits and vegetables within sight and reach. Remember, habits are not about having something. They're about becoming someone. Each small decision is a vote for the type of person you wish to become. So start small. Focus on the process. Adjust your environment. Closing implementing atomic habits isn't always easy, but the results are well worth the effort. What can we learn from the Atomic Habits book? A question that invites us to delve into the essence of this transformative work. The main thrust of Atomic Habits is the profound impact of small incremental changes. It's not about overhauling our lives overnight, but about making tiny adjustments that, over time, bring about significant transformation. This book emphasizes the power of habits in shaping our identities. We are not just a product of our habits, we are our habits. They reflect who we are, and by changing our habits, we can change ourselves. A runner doesn't just run, they are a runner. An artist doesn't just create art, they are an artist. By adopting the habits of the person we aspire to be, we start becoming that person. Another key takeaway is the need for a system-oriented approach. Goals are important, but it's the systems we put in place that determine our success. Imagine you're an archer. Your goal is to hit the bullseye. But it's your form, your focus, your breathing, your system that will get you there. In a nutshell, Atomic Habits teaches us that success is the product of daily habits, not once-in-a-lifetime transformations. It's about getting 1% better every day, about focusing on the process rather than the outcome, about the power of habit and the transformational impact of small changes. With these insights from Atomic Habits, we can start to reshape our lives one small habit at a time.